Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hello, hello. We'll wait till we get everyone else in here. We'll get talking about the TWAB today, everybody. There's a lot of stuff to go over, So we're gonna go over all that stuff today and how Stasis has been nerfed. Maybe you already read about it, but come on in and we'll get stuff taken care of. Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, let's go ahead and go live. I don't want to keep things waiting too long because we got stuff to do today. So come on in. We'll go over this stuff. Let's see. I'm already at next season's power cap. I'm pretty high up there, chat. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and boom. Hi, everybody. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Stasis has been nerfed. So if you were that warlock that was crutching on a broken class, your time has come. But anyway, we'll go ahead and go through everything today. There are two pieces of lore content that you folks can go ahead and check out. That's talking about Season the Hunt and everything that happened with Segura and Osiris. So you guys should definitely check that out. There's a lot of stuff that's going on this season, and we'll keep going on from there. So of course they talk about the raid stuff. So some updates for World First. So the raid World First is going to be a little bit different. Once the raid has been conquered, they're going to announce that the activity has been completed, but then they're going to verify it later on because there's so many potential cheaters and so many potential ways that people can glitch in. People have already glitched into the new raid. People have actually been through they haven't been through the encounters, but they've been around the edges of the entire area. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there are some different people who have actually seen big parts of the raid. Okay, so definitely check that. Don't check that out necessarily, but they're going to make sure that they actually have verified everything together to make sure that they've actually gotten the legit world's first clean. So there might be someone who actually clears it before, but they've probably used cheats or something else or exploits. So contest mode is going to be on for a full 24 hours. So you need to be at 12:30 if you want to be at the point for all the encounters. Being above 12:30 will not provide any advantage in the final fight. Earlier this week, they discovered an issue with Stasis, which is one of the things that they were talking about. And it was doing a massive amount of damage on bosses in Gambit, in raids and stuff like that. So they updated it. So now with hotfix 3.0.0.3, now warlocks can't just go on in and blow everything to smithereens and have everyone go and be done. So it's not a part of contest mode, but it does keep the raids, the world's first raid, being something that is, a little bit more fair. There will be loot. Of course, there's a world's first raid title. They say don't call it a belt. It's a belt. So, yeah, there's going to be the day one raid emblem, and this is just kind of like a revamping of everything. So if you complete the raid within the first 24 hours of contest mode being active, you'll unlock the emblem. I am going to be streaming this on Twitch, so you're going to want to make sure that you're there. I know that you're probably going to be watching a lot of streamers there, but for anyone who's a fan of the channel, come on over to Twitch. I'm also going to send out an email tomorrow letting everyone know that we're going to be live probably around 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Central Time, somewhere in there, about 2 hours before the raid starts, everybody. If you complete the raid in the first week, then you'll get the access to the raid jacket which is kind of nice. It's not bad. It's cool that they've got the raid thing on the side, and then it's got the vest. That's kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for it if we do get that. So yeah, only a few questions remain. Do you have your power high enough? Do you have your raid team assembled? Are you prepared for battle? And for those of you who are not racing, who will you be watching? Come watch us. It'll be fun. It'll be a blast. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the anti-cheat and the verification. So basically, they've wanted to make it so that people are going to be verified now through texts. So, for example, for a quick explanation of what's coming, our friends from the security team will be taking the stage to walk you through the process of SMS verification. They're implementing a quick validation step for free-to-play players who want to access the high-stakes PvP modes. They'll have to link and verify a cell phone number to their accounts via Bungie before they can actually go into there and do that. Part of the reason they're doing it is because people are coming in, doing their cheating, and then leaving. It's just making the gameplay experience bad for people who are really grinding for it. So if you're a free-to-play Destiny 2 player, you're going to receive a notice in-game the first time you try to access the protected activity. They're going to provide you with a verify link to Bungie.net, and they'll process it with an SMS link. Then they'll give you a code and things like that. You complete your verification, and that way you're signed up, and they can also track you, which is actually a good first step. Hopefully there are more steps after this as well. So for announcements regarding the security rollout, check out Bungie Help and go on from there. There's also a new fundraising campaign called Game to Give, which is pretty cool. You can actually sign up to host your own Destiny 2 fundraising stream. We will definitely be doing that between December 1st to December 13th. We'll have some incredible prizes for those people who host those fundraising milestones. So we're going to be kicking those things off now that I'm over there on Twitch. On Giving a Tuesday, December 1st, we'll be kicking off a 24-hour streaming marathon with people on Twitch and Facebook Gaming. So that's pretty cool. There are some donation incentives. There's a cool emblem. A $25 donation will earn you the 2019 Mist Blossoms emblem and the Gilded Ghost Shell. So that's this one here. Okay. For those people who do $50, you'll earn the new Light Keepers emblem, which is this piece up here. A $100 donation will earn you the 3 items above and will enter you into a chance to win an item from the Bungie loot pool, which will include some gift cards, Destiny 2 Beyond Light Deluxe editions, and physical editions. So 100% of those things go to charities, which is pretty cool. And then they've actually worked with Amaze, which is an online fundraising platform. So pretty cool. They've got some really nice stuff going on here. Now, this is the stuff that you probably have been waiting for. Talking about how they're going to tune the darkness. And maybe some of you have already logged in today and have felt some differences. So they launched Stasis. It was incredibly broken for a lot of people. And so they've made some major changes. And I compliment them on the fact that they've been able to make these changes so quickly. Partially just because they've been able to instantly flip and actually develop their stuff. They've updated their engine. So this is a pretty big hotfix. This is pretty massive. They're retuning a super within 2 weeks of it being launched. That seems pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. So we've had a lot of feedback on Stasis since Beyond Light launched last week. We've heard it's a ton of fun to use, but certain aspects of this new subclass can be frustrating to go up against. We're looking at you, Shadebinder Warlocks. We have a few minor tweaks aimed at hotfix that's going out this week. Our goal here is to do some early tuning to rein Shadebinders back and while still maintaining their overall efficacy and power fantasy. So these are overall stasis changes. The stasis breakout damage has been reduced. So for, you know, all those people who get frozen and then you bust out and then you instantly die, they're bringing that down. So you have to have taken a pretty significant hit of damage to die instantly when you've actually done that. They've adjusted the curve that reduces breakout damage using resilience. So resilience, if you didn't know, resilience actually is something that has to do with how much damage you take when you break out of the stasis. And the stasis freezing, that's actually a really cool piece. So if you didn't know that, you can update your resilience and be good. Increase the damage reduction effect resilience has so that higher tiers of resilience are more valuable. It caps out at 90 resilience, so you don't need any more than that. The big stuff has to do with the warlocks. And then also there's some different warlock grenades that have been plaguing the crucible right now. Stasis Warlock melee, that's just the penumbral blast. The projectile speed has been reduced by 20%. The idea is that they want to give Guardians a better chance to escape from those attacks, or at least have a chance to, you know, fight against it. The melee range has been reduced, which is a good thing. They need to do that for Celestial Fire too, because the range on some of that stuff is nutty. It was 28 meters, now it's 16 meters. So then going on down, Winter Wrath, which is, oh, it's actually Wrath of Winter, I believe is actually what it's called. They've reduced the duration of the Warlock super, which is good. It was a little bit long. Like, you could definitely be killed by the same person twice. The light attack cost has been reduced, so that's the basic like shooting of the actual like blocks of ice. Now it's a little bit less. And then the cold snap seeker speed, which are the things that you shoot, or excuse me, the grenades that you shoot, has been reduced overall for all classes by 23%. So people have a little bit of counterplay now with it. They can go with that. So against Guardians, cold snap, which is that grenade that you would chuck and it would seek you out. And a lot of times people would be like, how do we fight against this? Because one person would get cold snap, they'd break and die. Then the ice would snap over to different Guardians, and then you wouldn't be able to fight against it because stasis lasts so long. So they've lowered that duration. It's now 4.75. It's turning it down to 1.35 seconds. A lot lower. I've actually played it a little bit today. It's a lot more balanced. Like, it's not perfect, but if you're frozen, you at least have a much greater threshold to try and actually get out of the ice and then fight back. Ice Flare Bolts freeze duration has been lowered by 4.75 seconds to 1.35 seconds. So in other words, 1.35 seconds is like the base freezing for all the grenades and the blasts and stuff like that. Penumbra Blast, which is the Warlock melee, has been turned down as well. And now Winter's Wrath's heavy attack no longer affects players who are not encased. So in other words, you're not going to take damage if you're using the heavy attack. So if you have not used a Shadebinder or a Warlock, the idea of it is that you're supposed to hit someone with ice and then you break them with your heavy attack. So you use your light attack to freeze them, then you use your heavy attack to break them. What was happening before is that you could basically smash that heavy attack and do a massive amount of damage, okay? But now they've made it so it no longer affects anyone that's not encased. With that being said, we strongly believe that the Cosmic Ice Wizard Fantasy we're trying to target changes where we can towards the PvP experience specifically. With Stasis, we've tried to push the sandbox in new directions, and that increases the likelihood we introduce something spicier than normal. Spicier ice. Spice ice? I don't know. So basically they talk about that and go from there. I think that there's some really good potential in the Titan build that I think that people are underestimating, especially in the movement section. I think Kamicakes already did a video talking about this. The fact that the Titan can move so well if you know how to do it. You can turn around and get a punch in with your melee attack if you know how to aim it. Like, you can do some crazy stuff with that other classes are not expecting. That's a massive thing. Then the hunters have got some major pieces of things that they can use together. So it's pretty exciting to see what's going on. So I feel called out by Bungie with that. You're not wrong. If you were crutching on a Warlock, and I will say this, you are crutching on a Warlock with the Shadebinder, you're going to have to learn to get better with your super, which is okay, because if you think that it wasn't broken, then you're drunk, and that's okay. We'll just move on with our lives. Okay. Let's talk loot. This is exciting too. Because one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is the fact that there's like not a lot of new guns in the game. So one of the things that they wanted to talk about is that they wanted to figure out a way to give us new weapons and give us new things to do, to seek. So they basically talked about the fact that the players were really frustrated with the fact that there wasn't enough variety in the world loot pool. A lot of the weapons that we were getting are the weapons from Season of Arrivals. So it wasn't really a win, you know? So here's the list of adjustments that they're going to make to kind of solve that problem. They're going to remove all legendary weapons that hit their infusion cap at the end of this season. Good move. I think that that's a solid thing. Now, this doesn't happen until November 24th, so it'll still be something that happens during the raid. So any legendary weapons that hit their infusion cap at the end of the season, they're out. They're going to add in all the 7th Seraph weapons from Season 10. So if you didn't get the 7th Seraph small machine gun, SMG, submachine gun rather, that'd be a great pickup for you to search and find. added in all of the season 11 seasonal and planetary reprisal weapons, which I'm pretty excited about that. The weight drop chances, so the newer item is, the more newer an item is, the more likely it is to drop. So that was their short-term strategy to solve it, but they're going to be talking about things that they're going to do in the future to make things better, so that people can actually go in and like continue to feel like the loot is rewarding. Because the truth is that most people don't need new pieces of armor. Armor's not really that hard to come by anymore, right? So we want to give people lots of options for weapons to try out, and I think that that's a good thing. Holy cow, there's a lot of bugs. There's a new hotfix today. The hotfix already went out, so before you log in today, the hotfix went out, so you want to make sure you get that. Season pass hunters, obviously there's the season of the hunt guide. That's the part that has to do with the crow and spiders, so you're going to want to check that out. Artifact pickup, they're currently investigating an issue causing players who acquired the seasonal artifact before completing New Light to be blocked from progressing Season of the Hunt. So they're going to be check that out. Make sure you go onto the help forum and let people know about that. There are some pieces with Destiny add-on that you can check out. Also, if you are for some reason still on Battle.net, I don't know who this would be, but if you're still on Battle.net for some reason, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Second of all, on December 1st, you are no longer going to be able to access your Bungie.net account with the companion app or anything else like that. You need to migrate your stuff to Steam like ASAP. Enough said on that. If you have questions, they've got information in the TWAB page, okay? There's a lot of issues. Kind of buggy. They're working from home. COVID is a thing. They basically redid the game. It's basically like a completely different game now. There's been some positives because of that, and there's been some negatives because of that, and the negatives are right here for you. So I mean, like everything, I'm not going to read through all these because I mean there's a lot of them, just a lot of them. A lot of them are quality of light changes or like basically like finding different things, but these are things to note, and they know about them, so they're slowly going to go through and they're going to fix all those things. So they've got the movies of the week plus the artists of the week, which are pretty cool. I really like this one. This is really cool. I like that whole, like, it's got a very Star Wars feel to it, which I think is really solid. And so yeah, a huge TWAB this week. If you missed it, the big things were the changes on the Tuning the Darkness piece. Warlocks, you got the majority of the nerfs, but you gotta remember that a lot of things were changed globally for the Stasis subclass. Cold Snap, Ice Flare, those things are major things that were problems with the Crucible specifically. I don't think that we're gonna feel a massive change in how we play PvE based on what we've seen. Cold Snap is really still strong, but a lot of times people aren't using Cold Snap. They're using the big giant round grenade. I'm forgetting it off the top of my head. But that's one that a lot of people use in PvE because you don't really have to guess and you don't have to seek things out necessarily. I think that this is going to be a good fit for the Wake game going forward. There's a lot of stuff that the Hunter and the Titan can actually do really well, and I think that this allows them to shine a little bit better. Also, we talked about the raid, the day one raid race, all the details. Again, we're going to be streaming that live on twitch.tv/manoduster777. So you're going to need to make sure you hop on over there. Guys, I'm going to make this really quick video because I don't want this to drag on too long, but we're going to be going over to twitch.tv/manoduster777. I'm going to be continuing the conversation over there. I'm going to be giving away a soundtrack and an emblem tonight. That is the Beyond Light soundtrack plus an emblem that comes from the Bungie store. You can only get it there. Some exclusive emblems. So come on over to twitch.tv/manoduster777. Come say hello. It's going to take me a minute or two to get everything switched over, but then I'm going to be doing some of the Lost Sector hunts. It's Arms Day today, by the way. If you have not gotten your arms for your Warlock, today is the day to do it. Make sure you get all the other gauntlets and stuff like that too. And that's everything, guys. The Dustfield Grenade. Thank you very much. Thanks, chat, for getting that all set up for you. So I'm going to see you over at twitch.tv/manoduster777. I'm going to let the video run a little bit. If you are coming into the stream now, go ahead and just back it up to the live piece so you can see what else we were doing, and we'll go from there, everybody, okay? So we will see you over at twitch.tv/manoduster777. See you in just a minute.
de la gran oscuridad hasta que me convierta en rayos y más